So today I am going to be presenting on major and career exploration. I'm going to be talking about the importance of career first. My name is Kimberly Gomez and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and ella. Just a little bit about myself before we get started. I live in the city of El Monte. I grew up here and I attended El Monte High School. I then went to Pasadena City College where I got my associate's in psychology, and I transferred to Cal State University Northridge, where I got my bachelor's in psychology, and I'm currently at USC in progress of getting my master's in educational counseling. I am a first generation student. I do come from a low income background, and I am a daughter of immigrants as well. So we do have Jose Castro here with us. Jose is our guest speaker, and he will be introducing himself, and he'll be giving us a little bit about his story later on today. So he won't be here, but in a little bit, he'll be able to introduce himself. So our mission, CALSOAP LA, seeks to increase the academic and college preparation skills of eligible disadvantaged students. So CALSOAP LA does this by providing support, resources, opportunities to underrepresented students and families in the greater LA area, also the San Gabriel Valley area, and Pasadena Unified. And we do this to increase post-secondary participation and success. So getting started, here's our agenda. This is what we're going to be doing today. First, we're going to talk about the importance of picking a career first. Then we're going to talk about the interconnectivity of careers and education. We're going to identify some of our values, and then we're going to hear from our amazing guest speaker, Jose. Lastly, I'm going to go over some resources, and we're going to finish by doing an activity together. So getting started, I just wanted to talk and ask some questions, and you do all have capability in the chat to answer. So we're going to be using the chat a lot in this session, okay? So my first question to you all is, why is it important to think about career when you start college? So why do you think it's important to think about what you want to do as a career when you start out of college? And please utilize the chat. Go ahead and give me a response in the chat. I can also try putting a response in the chat, and I'm sure Jose and Anthony will as well. So why do you think it's important? And another question that I'll ask, and you all can answer in the chat as well, is what are the advantages of starting to explore careers early on in college? So why is it important to think about careers, and why is it important, and why is there an advantage of starting careers and exploring it early? We have Charm in the chat that said, so that you can get the correct classes to help you go into your career path. And that's a great answer. Yes, if you know what career you want, then it connects to what major you want, and then you'll be able to pick the right, the right classes for the major that you need. Because if you're a psychology major like myself, maybe I don't need to take calculus. Maybe I need to take a different class. Thank you, Charm, for your answer in the chat. So definitely don't take unnecessary classes. You get to save money and time because, classes are money. It's expensive sometimes. Also, you might feel less stressed about the future. So if you are already looking into what career you want to do, you might feel a little bit less stressed about your future career or your future education. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, but what career you pick is going to determine how much school you need as well. Also, you get to be a little bit more motivated. It's exciting to know, like, I want to be an engineer. That's exciting, right? You can also start working on your resume early on. You get to start picking which internships you want to do. Again, like I mentioned, if I'm a psychology major, maybe I don't want to do an internship in the medical field if I'm not interested in that. Maybe I want to do internship at Foothill Family Services if they allow, because Foothill Family Services works directly with therapy in connection with psychology. So Like I said, knowing what career you want is going to help you understand the final degree you need to earn. So here I have a little example that I'm going to give to you all. And just my question to you all is, do all careers require the same type of training, skills, education? The answer to that is no. So here's an example. I have a setting. The setting is a high school. I'm sure most of us are currently in high school or we went to high school at some point. And here are some occupations you're going to see at a high school. You're going to have your teachers. You see them every day. You're going to see the counselors. You might see them occasionally. The principal, assistant vice principal, school psychologist. There's always a nurse, campus security, and tutors. And then here are some different degree types. We have a PhD, a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, associate degree, a certificate, and then high school diploma. So in order to be a teacher at a high school, what degree do you think the teacher needs? And throughout our session today, please use the chat and go ahead and answer these questions. I'll continue to answer them as well too. So if you're a teacher, you do need a bachelor's degree and you need credentials. For a counselor, most counselors have bachelor's degrees, but they also need a master's degree in order to be a counselor. So you cannot be a counselor if you don't have your master's degree. And then we have principals, which is similar. They have their bachelor's and they have their master's. But I have seen that many principals also have their PhDs. And then we have psychologists, school psychologists. School psychologists also need their bachelor's and their master's degree in order to be a school psychologist. Some psychologists also like to take that extra step and get the PhD as well. What about a nurse? So with a nurse, they probably need their bachelor's degree. Some nurses like to go to community colleges. A lot of community colleges have really popular programs like TCC, where they can get their associates and then their bachelor's, and then they become a nurse. Campus security. Most campus security simply need their high school diploma in order to be a security guard at a campus. It's very rare if they need anything other than that, but they do need training as well, which might pertain in obtaining a certificate. And then tutors. I have seen, at least in the El Monte Unified District, that a lot of the tutors have to be in college or, have to have a certain amount of units college units in order to actually tutor. So tutors do have their high school diploma and they're currently, in school. So our next slide, I wanted to talk about career and education and just the interconnectivity of it. So here we're going to talk a little bit about majors now. So like I mentioned in the last slide, we talked a little bit about careers and what type of degree do they need in connection to the careers. So do all careers require the same type of training, skills, and education? And again, you can answer in the chat if you'd like. And then I have another question. This one is important. What major would you study if you wanted to be a lawyer? So go ahead and put in the chat, what major do you think that you would study if you wanted to be a lawyer? Now give us a minute. Okay, maybe we're nervous. I'll go ahead and answer that. So a major, some common majors that I've consistently seen is political science. I've seen administration of justice. I see something in the chat. Charm put, isn't it criminal justice? Yes, so we have criminal justice, political science, administration of justice. These I would say are like the top three that I consistently hear, but you actually can major in history, English, psychology, sociology. You can major in anything while you're at a community college and a 4-year, while you're completing your bachelor's degree, because in order to be a lawyer, what matters the most is up here. It's your Juris Doctorate degree. So you can, like me, for example, I have my bachelor's in psychology. If I want to be a lawyer, I would just apply for law school in order to get my Juris Doctorate degree. And this is the final degree. This is what matters. But, if you majored in political science or, criminology and so forth in your undergrad, you might know more terms, you might know more history of the law, you might be a little bit more ahead than I am as a psychology major, where I learned more about the brain. So that's why the final degree is what matters, the Juris Doctorate. So I can also give you an example of myself. I majored in psychology, but I can't become like a college counselor, which is my educational goal, unless I have my master's degree. Some of the people in my cohort have majored in English, and some other people have majored in sociology. But at the end of the day, we're all at USC and we're all planning to get our master's in educational counseling. So it's this final degree, my master's degree, that really matters in order for me to do what I want to do as a career. So go ahead, and if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. We're going to answer these questions at the end. And something I really wanted to explain to you all is that major change is very common. About 1/3 of first-year college students change their major. So I, for example, changed my major 3 times while I was at Pasadena City College until I finally decided to pursue psychology. So it is okay if right now you don't know what you want to do in terms of major. And it might be because you don't know what you want to do career-wise just yet. Like in psychology, you can be a therapist, you can be a psychologist, you can be a family and marriage therapist, you can be a school psychologist, you can work with students that have autism and so forth. There's so much you can do career-wise. So I know it can be a little bit intimidating right now, and I'm glad you're in this session so we can continue to think about, career and major. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to move forward and we're going to talk a little bit about our values. So making a career decision definitely connects to our values. So we want to pick a career that match our values. And we're also going to be doing this on a poll everywhere, but I did want to give you some examples. The poll everywhere is in the chat, but before we start that, some values that can contribute to you wanting to pursue your desired career can be family, it can be friends, your culture, maybe some strengths that you have, what are you interested in, finances, being a first generation student, and then just so much more. So these are some examples that we can use in our poll everywhere. So as I said, it is in the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and activate our poll everywhere. Let's see. There you go. So the link is in the chat, like I said. And I'm just going to go ahead and wait for responses, but here are the directions. So you can use the link, or if you're on your phone, you can text 37607 and then just text my name, Kimberly Gomez 593, and we'll be able to see your responses. If you don't have access to poll everywhere, you can type your answer in the chat. Okay, I see some responses already. We have health. Okay, we have a lot. So let me try to read these before they move around everywhere. Change, happy life, picking, let's see, society, helping, stability, yes, math, maybe your strength is in math. We have positive, science, maybe your strength is in science. Awesome. I'll keep going. Happiness. Your happiness is very important. Mhm. I'm not sure if this pull everywhere, like if you wrote a sentence, I'm not sure if it moves it around. But I do see some really great things on the screen. So thank you everyone for responding. And I love to see our little bubble here. I'm gonna go back to our presentation, but please go ahead and keep adding. Let me present. Awesome. So I can give you all just a little bit, some background onto what I value. And right now, because I'm seeking jobs, I'm going to graduate in May and I'm looking for jobs and I'm like, what do I value? So like I mentioned at the beginning, I do come from a low income background. So financial stability is something that I value at the end of the day. That's one of the reasons why, I wanted to pursue a master's degree. That's one of the reasons why I want to do, be a professor and a counselor one day, because I value financial stability. I also value insurance benefits. So if I get a full-time job, I want to make sure to ask, will you be providing me with insurance benefits? Something else that I value is my family. So will I have time to be with my family, to be with my partner, to be with my dogs who are my family as well? Maybe something else that I value also is my culture. My family comes from Mexico. So I do value my culture a lot. And I think about helping students. And when I think about that, maybe I would like to work at a cross cultural center, or maybe like a program like EOP that helps students of color like myself. So that's just a little example. Um, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite our guest speaker, Jose Castro, to speak to us. Jose is a student at Pasadena City College studying aerospace engineering and is an intern with Caltech in their Base 11 internship. He's also a part of the student advisory Expo as an ambassador. So please, Jose, go ahead, take it away. I'm going to mute myself and tell us your story.
Hey everyone, my name is Jose Castro. I grew up in Boyle Heights, and I still live here to this day. I've lived here my whole life. So for me, I attended Theodore Roosevelt High School, and then once coming out of high school, I was planning to attend UC Merced, but due to some financial issues, I had to withdraw from the school, and initially I attended ELAC, which East Los Angeles College. And then after my first semester, I switched to Pasadena City College, and I stayed there ever since. And kind of like what Kimberly said, like it's okay to change your major, because I think I've changed my major like 3 times. And sometimes it just takes a while just to figure out what you really want to do. But as long as you know what you're doing and what you want to do, that's what matters the most. From my experience, I switched from information technology, which is a computer science major, to business management, to mechanical engineering, and then to aerospace engineering. The main reason why I switched to aerospace engineering is because in fall 2020, I was a part of a NASA program, and that involved working on a mock mission, was gonna which involved sending an actual like rover to land on one of Jupiter's moons and get water from its moons to investigate possible life there. And just learning about what goes into missions really intrigued me, and that made me switch to aerospace engineering. And now being involved in Caltech in their internship, now it's involved of like going to the deeper science of what goes into engineering missions, such as solid and fluid dynamics, which is very, very important. I've also been a part of SHIP, which stands for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Even though it mentions Hispanic, it's very open to everyone, and it's allowed me the opportunity to not only travel but have the opportunity to network with so many professionals from so many companies, from Apple to Microsoft to NASA to Boeing to Northrop Grumman to some financial banks that are also there. and you also get to meet students from all across the country as well. So it's a great opportunity. And fortunately, I've been able to attend all conferences that have happened in person. Unfortunately, in 2020, that didn't happen because of the pandemic. Now I work in the student advisory people, and that's been a great opportunity just to not only meet more people from campus, but also the staff and get to know and build a connection with them because they have many resources that they can share out to students that may not be known at first. So that's my story so far.
Thank you so much, Jose, for speaking to us a little bit about your internships and your experience. And I thought that was really cool that you got to work with the rover and to get water and all of that. I
Mm,
really hope, that at the end of this session, if you're comfortable or if right now too, with putting maybe your information in the chat, and if any future engineers would like to speak to you, maybe they can ask you a few questions on how to apply for these programs and internships.
sure. Yeah, I could definitely. I can put my email as my contact, and then I can list like some of the programs I've been a part of in the past. I know they're very open to students, so I'll put that in the chat so students can check it out.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
What we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk about the resources. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, Jose, but I'm pretty sure because I have Pasadena City College here and Assist, and a California Community College website that, Jose has probably utilized some of these. I know I have. So for example, one of our first resources that we're also going to be using today is our career exploration tool through Pasadena City College's website. This, you don't have to be a PCC student to use this tool. It's actually open. And if you're currently at a community college or a university, your schools, your college and career centers most likely have a tool similar to this. We also have assist.org, which is mainly for transfer students. So if you're at a community college like us right now, like we were, you would check, does your major and the institution that you want to transfer to, and make sure that you're taking the compatible classes, like the first side. So we save time, we save money, we know what we want to study. And then we also have right here on the right-hand side, the California Community Colleges website. And as you can see, they also value exploring careers first. So on their website, their first step is to explore what career you want. And then it's, finding your path, then you pick a college and then you apply and so forth. We also have California Career Zone. You can also take aptitude tests here. So you can take a test to see what your personality connects to, what your interests and values connect to what career. And then we also have ONET Online. So these two on the bottom are mainly for researching occupations. So if, for example, you want to be a teacher. Let's just say you want to be a teacher, or if you want to be a professor, college professor, under the search bar for both, you would put college professor, and it'll tell you how much education do you need. So do you need a bachelor's, a master's, do you need your credentials? They'll tell you. They'll also tell you what are the desired skills that you need. So do you need to be communicative, responsive? It's also going to tell you what tech skills do you need. Do they want you to know about Excel, about the Google Drive system, and so forth. And then it's going to tell you what salary in every state. So how much do they pay college professors in California? How much do they pay college professors in Arizona? And so forth. So some tips that I have for you all is to know yourself. So think about, like the last slide, think about your values. What do you value? Research the possible occupations. So using these, and then get experience like Jose has been doing. Jose talks a lot about experience. He's doing some internships and he has a job, and these experiences, contributed to what Jose wants to do now. And what Jose provided with us in the chat is his email and the program opportunities for the Allspace Academy. And of course, if you have any questions, Jose is up to answering any questions through email. So please feel free to email him. Thank you, Jose, for providing that for us. Another link that I have, and CalSOAP will put it in the chat, but I'll put it one more time, is we're going to do one more poll everywhere. I really like the word bubble. So let me just exit here and we are going to do our next activity. Okay, so this one is, what careers are you interested in researching now? So go ahead, the link is in the chat, or again, if you'd like, you can text your answer to Kimberly Gomez 593 and text it to 37607. So I would love to see, what careers are you all interested in researching? And it can be multiple, it doesn't have to be one. So we have dentistry is one, astronomy, medicine, yes, astronomy, biotechnology, and then I don't think we have, I think we only have about 5 participants. So I think this is it. But yeah, so these are some really great careers that you're interested in researching. We got one more, criminology. Yes, criminology is great. Funny story, I wanted to do criminology when I entered Pasadena City College because I watched Criminal Minds so much in high school that I felt like I could be a behavioral analyst like Reed. But then that just went, went another route. So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to explore these majors now. I'm sorry, these careers. Let me go to our activity. We're almost done. We're just going to do an activity together now. I'm going to give you all some time. So what we're going to do, and thank you for CalSOAP for putting our helpful links there, is we're going to take a 6-question career survey using the Pasadena City College's website. I swear it takes like 2 to 3 minutes. And if Anthony can put that link in the chat, or I can as well, I can show you. There you go, there it is. And it would look like this. So if you click on the last link that is in the chat, it is going to take you to something like this, which is really great because you don't have to be a PCC student. We're going to do the 6-question assessment. After this session, if you want to take the 60-question assessment, that would be awesome because you are going to be getting a more detailed and more accurate results as opposed to the 6-question one. But go ahead and get started on the 6-question activity. And when you're done, I'll give you all about 4 minutes because it doesn't take that long. So we'll come back at 12:49. Okay, everyone. So it's 12:49. Um, so you should have gotten some results by now, and the results are going to coincide with John Holland's vocational and career choice theory, which is which is called the Holland Code. So as you can see in this picture on the right-hand side, you might have gotten some results that connect with realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, or conventional. It should give you, I believe, three. Um, and just to talk a little bit about this code is that John Holland proposed that people who choose to work in environments that are similar to their own personality type are more likely to feel satisfied where they're working, to feel successful where they're working. So if you pick a career and eventually a major that connects to your own personality type, you're most likely to be successful where you're at. So mine, for example, my top three are social, artistic, and enterprising. And I definitely see why I'm social. So as you can see here, for social, it's someone who is very enlightened, likes to, talk to everyone, like is very informative. So this connects with teaching, with educating. I'm not afraid to publicly speak. I really like that. I love presenting. And then I have artistic as well. So people who are artistic are a little bit more on the creative side, very intuitive, innovative. But however, with artistic, usually people that get artistic as a main quality are a little bit more to themselves. So if you're artistic, you like to focus on what you're doing and you don't really like to be too social. And I can see that with myself. I love to be social when I need to be, but when I'm, working on a special project, working on a flyer or so forth, I like to just be in the zone and focus on that. And then there's also enterprising. So enterprising connects to like the criminology major that one of you said. We have public health, we have policymakers, because when you connect with enterprising, you like to be influential. You're very persuasive. You're a go-getter and you're always performing. You're always on top of your game. And enterprising definitely, I feel like, connects with anything related to law as well. Then we have conventional. So people who get conventional are usually very data driven. So they like to work, with statistics. I'm thinking of an accountant, possibly a data administrator as we have there. So conventional people are also very detail oriented. So you really think about the details when you're working. Then we have realistic. So realistic people are very practical. So it's like, tell me what I need to know. They're very scientific as well. So this one connects a little bit more to the health side. Like if you want to be a dentist, if you want to, work in biotech, possibly veterinarians. This connects a little bit more to the realistic side. And then finally, we have investigative. So investigative people are more observant. They like to just watch, possibly take notes, a little bit more silent. They analyze a lot. So as you can see, some possible careers here are health services, being a researcher, a health specialist. So I'm thinking possibly even a nutritionist, right? And I got this from the University of San Diego's website. So if you want to learn more about the Holland Code, if you want to take that 60-question assessment, I highly recommend it. And I did put discussion here. So what I wanted to, do now is if any of you are interested in talking about your Holland Code, or if you want to put in the chat what your three are, we can talk a little bit more about that. So, Anthony or Jose, if you know your Holland Code, please feel free to put it in the chat as well. Like I said, my main one is social. That's like my main one for the Holland Code. And then I did want to mention that Anthony put in the chat all of the links in order to, research your profession. Um, and then we see that Jose put investigative, and I feel like that definitely connects with what you were talking about earlier as you guest spoke. Anthony put mine is investigative, which is a surprise for me. Yeah, so I think with the 6 question survey, since it's only 6 questions, it might not be super accurate. So again, try taking the 60 question one, and I feel like that will be much more accurate. And I want to show you all how to navigate the website before we finish. So I'm going to show you how to navigate Own It. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link that we put in the chat that connects to Own It. So here we are, Own It is logging in. And I'm going to put what I want to be. So I want to be a professor. And there you go. So we have educational guidance and career counselors and advisors. That is actually another thing that I want to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, the little sun, bright outlook means that this is looking really good. So that means that there are going to be plenty of jobs in the future for this. And as you can see, it shows you what tasks I'm most likely going to be doing. It's going to show me what technology skills that I need to know. So, Blackboard, I know a lot of schools use Blackboard or Canvas, Google Classroom as they have right here. They put Facebook and LinkedIn, and yeah, I definitely see that everyone has a LinkedIn nowadays. Knowledge, what is some knowledge I need to know? As you can see, I did major in psychology, so I have seen how my major in psychology has helped me. Some skills, so I have to be an active listener. I have to talk all the time. I'm service oriented. These are some skills that I need to have. So maybe when I'm working on my resume, I can look at Own It and put service orientation, or I can put social perceptiveness on my resume, which is good. And then also, what abilities do I need? What are some work activities that I'm going to do, and so forth. And as you can see here, it tells me what education do I need. So 93% of college counselors have a master's degree. The other 6%, it says high school diploma, but I'm pretty sure you need a master's degree, and that's why 93% have that. So I am pursuing my master's. And now let's go down and let's see the salary. Let's see how much in the state of California does a counselor make. And we're gonna click on go. And as you can see in California, the average amount of money that a college, or I'm sorry, it doesn't say college counselor here, that an educational guidance and career counselors and advisors make is about 77,000. And the most that one of these counselors or advisors can make is 129,000 in California. And I really like this site because it's accurate. And as you can see, this is for the United States, but because we live in California, that's why I wanted to focus on this. So I really hope that you all can, utilize this to explore your careers, explore what skills you need. It'll help you with your resume as well. And as you can see here, it gives you a breakdown of the cities, or the counties as well. So as you can see, if I want to work in the LA, Long Beach, Anaheim area, I will most likely be making about $85,000. And as you can see, if I want to work in the Chico area, that's almost $20,000 less. So where do I want to work? Maybe I want to work in the Long Beach, LA area as opposed to the Chico area. So as you can see, this website really just gives you perspective, and you're able to also kind of determine where you want to work. So just going on to our very last slide, we're going to be done already, is I'm inviting you to connect with us. This is our website, calsoapla.org, and this is our social media handle. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And this is my Instagram. I have an educational Instagram, Kim Gomez _EU. I do have scholarships there. scholarship opportunities there, and I have a lot of helpful links using my link tree. And this is my email. Please feel free to email me, kgomezcalsop@gmail.com, if you have any questions at all. What I'm going to do